It's time for Living Your Purpose, a motivational and inspirational podcast with Peter and Joyce Nielsen.
Hey everybody, welcome to Living Your Purpose. I'm Peter and this is Joyce Nielsen, and we're so happy that you're here. Every Thursday we put this live out on Spotify, on YouTube, SoundCloud, as well as our social media platforms. You could always visit us at peternielsen.com and find out so much more about what we do. If you have any questions, you could go to peternielsen.com to give us a question, leave us a question. And if you do like this podcast, just press the subscribe button below and show your love. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Spring is here. As you can see, we're recording outside. You might hear some birds in the background.
Yes. You know, being in Michigan, 9 months out of the year, it is just cold and gray. And we live on this lake here, and as you just said, listening to the birds, feeling the sun and the warmth is just healthy from the inside out.
It sure is.
You know, I know that we talk about so many different things, and you and I, over the last couple of days, were strategizing on what we were going to talk about. So why don't you tell our viewers and listeners just what's on our mind today and what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, well, a lot of people right now, I think, are focused on the summer that's right around the corner, and we're all wanting to be a best version of ourselves. So
Physically, yeah.
We're going to navigate nutrition, and we're going to debunk some of those myths that you hear around dieting. Is it true or is it not true? So,
and you have
Peter's Principles will let you know.
Peter's Principles 101, uncut, uncensored. And I know that you went through a lot of our platforms and picked out some questions that you have. So, I mean, I've had my energy drink, my pre-workout drink. I've had my Zeal. I'm all ready to go.
All right. I pulled some of what I thought were my favorite questions from you guys, and one is I hear carbohydrates is my enemy. So one of the diets people will do is they're gonna cut out
ketos,
all their carbs.
Yep.
So, honey, can you explain the theory around that myth, and is that something we want to do?
Great question, whoever that came from. It looks like it came from Linda from Utah, so kudos to you. And I think that carbohydrates are probably one of the most misunderstood macronutrients on the planet. And a good example is pasta is not bad. It's just that, or baked potatoes aren't bad, or corn isn't bad. But because it's so dense, rice isn't bad. But what ends up happening is because it's so dense, it becomes filled with calories. So we eat more of it. A great example is the average pasta plate at a really nice Italian restaurant, or even Olive Garden for that matter, is 800 to 1100 calories according to the sauce they put on it. So think about it.
The portion sizes are bigger too. Yeah.
But it's hanging off of the plate, and your body can only utilize about this much pasta, which is 300 calories, or there's 4 calories to a gram of carbs. That equates to 75 grams of carbs within a 90-minute period of time. So you go out with a couple, you go to a nice Italian restaurant, and all of a sudden you're eating 800 calories, and your body can only utilize 300. 500 of those calories are going right here. Junk in the trunk.
You're gonna work it off on your stuffer later.
So carbohydrates aren't bad, but you just need to understand them. There's complex and there's simplex. And a great example is your starchy complex carbohydrates are the ones that I just mentioned. If you're looking to facilitate lose excess body fat, you want to first of all stay away from all the stuff with white bread, white flour, white rice, white potatoes. You could go with a yam, you could go with brown rice, and you could go with a sweet potato instead of a baked potato. Even cereal, oatmeal and stuff, those are all starchies. So if you're truly looking to lose excess body fat, go with more fibrous complex carbohydrates. Those are your colorful vegetables. I mean, there's more than 800 flavonoids, all the different colors that God has made in the produce section of the grocery store, which is king. Every single color, for example, red has beta carotene and lycopene, which lowers the risk of prostate cancer, which helps with heart health. Your purples and your blues have anthocyanins in them, an antioxidant that helps with brain health, strengthening your blood vessels, lowers the risk of stroke. Your orange colors, your yellow colors.
All found in the produce section.
Yeah.
You need to stay on the outside perimeter of the grocery store. Anything down the aisles is usually going to be processed, bleached,
Color
something.
is not good in the
Not
cereal.
your friend
Yeah.
if you're looking to
Yeah,
turn
exactly.
it up a little bit.
You know, and think about it when just on this last part of carbohydrates, is that, I say color is king in the produce section, but color is your enemy in the cereal aisle. And they usually put Captain Crunch, Cocoa Pebbles, Lucky Charms, all about 3.5 feet high, because that's how old usually our young children, how high in height our young children is, and they're grabbing it, throwing it into the cart, and we're probably the word beyond exhausted. So we're just leaving it in the cart, we're getting home, and the kids are eating junk. So to just put a period at the end of the sentence when it comes to carbs, if you're going to have any starchy carbs, don't have it past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Limit your carbohydrates to no more than, say, 45% of your total calories when it comes to your macronutrients. 30% of your total calories should be protein. 25% of your total calories should be coming fat. And for people that think fruit is bad, even diabetics could have low sugar, low glycemic fruit, such as your berries, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries. They're all amazing with antioxidant, phytochemicals, phytoestrogens. They're going to help you, and they're low sugar, and they're not going to get you fatter.
Great information. I'm going to have to rewind that and write it all
That was a
down.
mouthful, man. Couldn't shut me up on that one. Sorry.
No, we need that. We need that. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
And something we all want to know. So, does fats make you fat?
Great question. That's another macronutrient that is very confusing. So you have your saturated fat, artery clogging fat, which is your dairy, your cheese, your steaks, your bacon's got 49 grams of artery clogging fat in 4 slices. I don't even get 49 grams of fat in the entire day. So you have those bad fats, butter, and then you have good fats, which is mono unsaturated fat or poly unsaturated fat, and that comes in form of your salmon, your avocado, your triple virgin olive oil that's cold pressed. Those are going to bring inflammation down. Your dairy and your beef is going to be an irritant and bring inflammation up. So absolutely, but too much of any fat will make you fatter. But the big culprit is carbohydrates that we were just talking about. If people just over giant size and have too much carbs, then it releases insulin and more fat. Your insulin receptors become basically paralyzed and desensitized, and now you can't metabolize protein, carbohydrates, or fats, and you become pre-diabetic and then diabetic, and then you may even need to go on insulin to control the way your body does that, and it's self-inflicted. We shoot ourselves in the foot. We live in the richest country in the world, and we are nutritionally illiterate, and it's not even us to blame, because when we go to school, our children know more about mathematics, science, and social studies than they do about a macronutrient, essential fatty acid, and a gram of protein.
Yeah, and it's true. There's so many choices and so many labels to choose from. For example, nuts are a great source of a healthy fat, but are all nuts equal? Like, what do you look for when you're going?
Great question. Well, I did a TV piece on Peter's Principles called Nutty Facts, and it was all the nuts on how, your Brazilian nuts have more selenium, vitamin E. Your walnuts have more omega-3 essential fatty acids. Your macadamia nuts have the most amount of carbs. But if you look at cashews, in a cup of cashews have more or just as much calcium as, say, a half a glass of milk. So with milk, you're getting cholesterol, you're getting saturated fat. With, say, your nuts, you're getting fat in the form of polyunsaturated fat, monounsaturated fat, that's going to bring inflammation down. But still, just grab a handful. If you all of a sudden go back for 3 or 4 handfuls, then as I said before, too much of any fat is going to make you fat. So again, portion sizes are key.
Yep.
And if I could put a period at the end of that sentence, your body can only utilize 30 to 40 grams, which is about 4 to 5 ounces of animal flesh within a 2.5 hour period of time, can only absorb 300 calories or 75 grams of carbohydrates within a 90-minute period of time. If we focused on grazing, having smaller, more frequent meals, we would all be Mr. and Miss Universe.
Good information. I have a great question here.
Yep.
Actually, Shauna from Tampa Bay, she wants to know, is it true that you need to detox your body? And what does that mean?
Great question. And we're actually in the process of doing something with that. When you detox, you're taking toxins out of your body. And the beautiful thing that our Creator God has made for us are organs called your liver and your kidneys. And they both naturally detox, thank God, all the food and the crap that we eat. But we need sometimes help because of all the antibiotics that we have that basically messes up our probiotics, our good guys, are fighting the bad guys. Our digestive enzymes as we age become less and less that digest protein, carbohydrates, and fats. But we do have, and I've been doing it now for almost 18 years, is I put together a concoction that is all natural. You find in your produce section of your grocery store. And why don't you say what it is? I mean, it's somewhat messy and it's somewhat time consuming, and she'll talk about the turmeric aspect.
Yes.
But I'm super excited because I'm working on launching that exact product where all you have to do is add water to it and
Yes.
drink it.
So if you don't have the time or the resources to do what I'm about to tell you to do, that will be available soon.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, fresh is always great. We go to those juice shops and pay a ridiculous amount of money every week on getting these delicious tasting juice shots.
$14 for a thing this big.
We have one that you can make at home, and it's a
4-ounce
drink. And the ingredients, you'll need 7 lemons, 1 pound of ginger, like the raw ginger root, 8 ounces of turmeric, not powdered, but the real deal, which sometimes you can't find it at local grocery stores, but if you go to specialty Whole Food stores, something like that, they have it there.
Bushes, yep.
And side note, the turmeric is what he is talking about that can be messy, because when you cut into it, it's an orange turmeric. I know you can get it in white, but this recipe is with the orange. So you want to wear gloves and protect your countertop surfaces.
It'll stain your granite.
Yes, it will stain
Especially if you have a white granite like we do.
But the benefits of turmeric make it totally worth putting into the street.
All of these are anti-inflammatory agents. They all naturally detox. And it's an amazing way to start a healthy eating plan so that you're going to be able to facilitate lose excess body fat.
Yeah, it really tastes delicious. We're not done here. So we got 7 lemons, 1 pound of ginger, 8 ounces of turmeric, 2 oranges, and 1 grapefruit. I use a different grapefruit every time. Whatever I find is the freshest is what I tend to use for my
and the pink
ingredient.
is a little sweeter.
Yeah.
It gives a great flavor.
It does.
But yeah, think about it. I've had digestive issues my whole life. The Crohn's with no cure has almost taken me out twice. So in God's timing, which is now, and it's been something I've been talking about for a couple of decades, God put it in my heart to put this together. So in the very, very near future, in the weeks to come, we'll be introducing our digestive health system that basically will be a 14-day detox, probiotics, digestive enzymes. So I'm excited too, and it's all about God's timing. You never want to get ahead of Him. So I know it will help a lot of people. I wouldn't wish a dog to have to go through what I go through, or millions of people that go through with inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease, or ulcerative colitis. So if you want more information on that, we can send you our newsletter and stuff like that. But it's just a great time.
PeterandNielsen.com is a great way.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll also have a landing page that we're making right now for that product.
Yeah. So for this drink, so you want to take all your ingredients, and you pretty much need to have a juicer. Yes, you can get by it without. I've tried it. It's a nightmare. So I would say definitely invest in a juicer, and you're gonna cut the rinds off, like the lemons and the grapefruit and the oranges. But if there's a little bit left on there, not a big deal to me, honestly. It's gonna go right through the juicer anyways. With the turmeric, I just chop it up. Same thing with the ginger. I'm not like peeling it or anything like that. We're just dicing it up into, I don't know, about this quarter, half-inch size pieces, whatever's gonna go through easiest. And then once you push all the ingredients through, it's gonna extract all the rinds and the waste, and you're gonna be left with about a mason jar full of this drink. And then I take some cayenne pepper. We like it super spicy, muy caliente.
And it's again an anti-inflammatory, and cayenne pepper is great for digestive health.
Yeah, so you do it to your liking, and then you're gonna put the lid on the jar, shake it all up. It's 4-ounce drink portions. It'll last you, this is a recipe that'll last you for every day for a week. And then after about a week, it might start to go sour, so you would want to drink it within that time. Yep. But it's
and
really
if they have question, I mean, it's something that, I even tell my kids, it's like, you don't know unless you know. So the beautiful thing is you can try something, and if you don't like it, you check it off your box.
Yeah, or modify it a splash if you want to.
And if you like it, it's
add
something that's so healthy
to it
for
as
you.
well.
Yeah, that'll make it a little sweeter.
Yep.
But Joyce, if you remember, if you could put it maybe on the YouTube or the Spotify or whatever.
Yes, I'll post it under the YouTube link.
On the YouTube link. And the YouTube is under Peter Nielsen and Peter's Principles, and you'll be able to find it.
Perfect.
I mean, great questions.
Right, I thought so too. Oh, and one more good one. Okay, we all hear about supplements, and by the way, there's a little secret that he may or may not disclose at this point in mind about some amazing supplements to be, but can they replace a balanced diet? Like,
great question. My golly, these are really great questions. I love the word supplement. It's going to supplement what you're not getting from a balanced diet. We live in a very fast, busy world, and a lot of times we don't treat our temple, our body, the way that it should be treated. So a great example, a lot of people in this country, believe it or not, they would be beneficial by having, say, omega-3 essential fatty acids, which is going to help your heart, help your brain. Vitamin D3, a lot of people, they have deficiencies to that. So there are, and then what I would recommend even is like a good all-around multivitamin. A multivitamin is something that you could get for women only, for men, and also, we drink something called Zeal, and it's an all-in-one. It's got, golly, so many different minerals and vitamins, so you're not going through 30 different bottles of your supplements. It has everything, and then it has something called guarana, which is a distant cousin of caffeine, which takes you off on a very slow takeoff and slow landing. Studies have shown that it actually helps people with depression. Yeah, focus more, clarity, and energy. So, yeah, just to again come full circle, supplements are just supplementing what you're not getting from a balanced diet that you should be. So if you're skipping meals, if you're deficient on certain things just genetically, then supplements, a vitamin used as a supplement is going to help. But again, talk to a nutritionist, get a nutritional counseling, go for an elaborate, thorough blood profile where you're fasted, so that you can truly see what's going on the inside. Why is my iron so low? Why is my potassium high? What is that saying? But the beautiful thing is when you do take, I call it our liquid gold, which is our lifeline, our blood, it tells you the story, what's going on the inside. And a lot of times you'll determine if you're feeling great or if you're feeling like, why am I always tired? And your white count is too high and your red count's too low. And it's going to then take your general practitioner or specialist and zone them in on maybe another test or two to get to possibly something that's about to break in your insides, something.
Yeah, what a great point. You don't want the supplement to act as a band-aid to something that could be more problematic that you're not addressing. So
agreed.
That's a great...
Yeah, and knowledge is power. A lot of times people will take 4 or 5 supplements that do the same thing, and then they wonder why their kidneys are being irritated or their liver is being inflamed, their SGOT is high, their creatine is high. If you're not knowing what you're doing, time out. Don't take anything. Go to someone that has got experience. Again, that's all I do. I do one-on-ones with that, and you can find that in the website peternielsen.com if you're interested.
And you help with macronutrients and meal planning. And let's be honest, most of what your body needs that you're gonna take in a supplement pill form can be found in nature food. Holistically through what you're eating.
Yeah, agreed. And whether the counseling is for macronutrient meal planning, whether it's for developing a fitness regimen, or whether it's just coaching a couple on an issue or something, it's available to each and every one of you.
I have one final topic that there's always so much debate over.
Oh boy, here it comes. She's saving
hey.
the best for last.
So we all want to know, you hear about fasting, intermittent fasting, moderating your meal side portions, calorie counting, this, that, the other. Does the time of the day that you eat affect how many calories that your body is going to burn? So basically metabolism versus meal timing.
It's a good question, a great question actually. You want to be the CEO of your body. You can control where those calories are being burnt, whether it's carbohydrates, whether it's muscle, protein. If you don't have enough protein after you work out to replenish the protein that's been depleted in your muscle bellies, then if you're not eating something and you're relatively slender, you're going to feed on muscle, and muscle is tied to your basal metabolic rate, and not only are you going to get smaller, muscular, but you're going to slow down your metabolism. Whereas if you are basically timing out your foods every 2.5 hours, portion sizing it like I mentioned a moment ago, now all of a sudden you're getting into what I call that macronutrient sweet spot. Macronutrients are your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats. And if you go to, again, and you could go anywhere, and I'm not trying to sell anything to anyone, but if you go to peternielsen.com and you go to meal plan and you press that and you subscribe, the first thing that it's going to do is ask you, what's your age? What's your weight? What's your height? How much do you weigh? How many times a week do you exercise? What's your goal? Do you want to lose fat, gain muscle, or maintain? You do those multiple choices, which is an easy click, and then you press enter. It's going to then come up, if you want to lose excess body fat, with how many calories you should be having for your gender, for your weight, for your height, for your age, for your physical activity. Now you have that base.
That's a great cheat sheet.
Right, on how many calories. Now, with those calories, it's going to give you a macronutrient meal plan, and you get 7 days of different meals, and then after 7 days, you just press new. It gives you 7 more days, but now you're on the path to facilitating losing excess body weight, or putting on muscle, or maintaining. Now you have a system, a program that's specific for you, and I mean, I'm just going to say it. I mean, it's for $9.99. It's ridiculous. People would spend, $500 to get that information, and you'll get that information, in probably 3 minutes once you go through this. It cost me over $100,000 in about 2 years to put that program together and have somebody write that on the back end that knows how to write computer stuff. But I'm very proud of it. And again, it's peternielsen.com, macronutrient meal plan. Press it, takes you straight through it. Now you have a master plan that you can follow every day. Okay, these are the amount of calories. Okay, these are the amount of grams of protein out of those calories, because I'm having 30% of those total calories every day of protein. Oh, I'm having 45% of those total calories with carbohydrates. Oh, that's how many grams I should be having. Oh, I shouldn't have more than 75 grams of carbs within a 90-minute period of time. It gives you so many guardrails that you're not going to go in the weeds, because most people fail because they never get started, because they're so fearful of failing because they don't know what they're doing. I want to make it, excuse my expression, idiot proof. Get it done. Just do it.
Yeah,
right?
I love it. It's all excellent information. And my own personal experience is, I find, because I am blessed, this is my husband, so we do a lot of our meal planning at home together.
And she's
and
a great
I'm
chef.
privy to this information. So when you combine that along with, I like to do intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
So you take any 8-hour,
Yeah.
my personal is I like to do the 8-hour one where you pick
8:16.
8:16, and whether I like to do like 11 to 7 or 12 to 8, but those are my time frames in which that I'm going to be absorbing all my nutrients and calories for the day. I
have to commend you. I mean, you look amazing, but when she puts her mind to something, she is all about it. And I just want to leave with what you just said. Intermittent fasting is the new buzzword of this decade, but I will say this. For many years prior, if you don't eat after 8 o'clock at night, and you don't munch while you're watching Netflix because you're bored or something, and you get up in the morning.
Right. Movie night does not equivalent boxes of buttery popcorn and candy and chocolate, although it's
and
decadent.
milk duds and Pepsi.
Don't do
and-
it.
Right.
Don't do
So
it.
if you eat less, exercise more, don't eat past 8 o'clock at night, you could call it ishkabibbles, fasting, whatever you want to, it's going to work. And what she's doing is really, in my opinion, it's not a diet. It is a healthy lifestyle. Eating regimen that you could do for the rest of your life. We're eating relatively healthy. We do, at least, and I'm following her lead because I would snack late at night. I'm pretty blessed with a very fast metabolism.
Yeah.
But if I don't eat past 8 o'clock at night, eating the Crohn's, I don't get heartburn, I don't get digestive issues. I give my body a chance to digest. Because when you're digesting, you have all that blood pooling in your tummy.
So one of our issues sometimes would be, for example, around the holidays, and my dad is a wonderful baker and sends us home with
Cookies!
all these cookies and everything.
Brownies.
And if they're in the pantry and he wakes up in the middle of the night, it's almost like sleepwalking in the Cookie Monster. And
I'm a chocoholic.
So what we started doing, a wonderful treat, is frozen grapes.
Yeah.
And
blueberries.
Frozen grapes and blueberries. And in the middle of the night, if I happen to, go to get a drink of water and I just want a little something real quick, it'll just be like a couple frozen grapes or like you said, a slice of watermelon.
And they're low glycemic, low sugar. But they're very flavorful. And when I'm eating, when I'm at nighttime and I'm watching something and I'm munching on, like you said, some dark grapes that have resveratrol in it, which is great for your heart. Everybody says, "Oh, wine is great." Well, you want to hear something? Every one of your wine lovers out there, and I'm one of them. I love a good cab. But the dark purple and blue and dark grapes have more resveratrol, antioxidant, than even the wine. Something to think about. I know you hate me what I just said, but moderation is key.
Then you don't feel like you're on this strict diet and you're refraining from everything. If your cheats are little healthy little snacks here and there, then you feel it's like a mental emotional thing.
We work hard, we play hard, we eat good, and we pig out every once in a while.
Right.
For that moment, and then the next day we go right back to it, and that's how you can stay trim and fit. If you have a question, you could go to Peter at peternielsen.com. You could find us on Astound TV network every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time on television. Also, worldwide, you could find us on Saturdays and Sundays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time on DBTV, that's found on Roku, and our podcast is on anywhere your favorite podcast is. You'll be able to find Living Your Purpose with Peter and Joyce Nielsen. And I just appreciate you.
And we appreciate you. So send more questions. So this one was fun.
Great
I like
questions.
doing question and answer days.
Great questions. Listen, until next week, it's Peter and Joyce Nielsen for Living Your Purpose podcast. God bless each and every one of you. We hope that you have an amazing week. Hi, I'm Peter Nielsen. I'm excited because I'm going to be with you every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Astound TV network. We'll be dealing with nutrition because you are what you eat. Physical activities, whether it's indoors or outdoors, as well as wonderful things you could do with your entire family. Let's get better together, mind, body, and spirit.
Tune in to Peter's Principles every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Astound TV network.